I'm gonna share with you all the tips, tricks, and hacks that I use and the easiest ways for you to start saving in 2021. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Just a couple years ago, I was making not that much money. I was living in a situation that I was not happy with. So I use these tips to find easy ways to start saving. I was able to invest in myself so that I could start making more money. I'm gonna share with you guys exactly what I did and some hacks that will help anyone regardless of your income, age, job. These tips will help anyone to start saving in 2021. You might say, Ciara, I don't make that much money, so it's hard for me to save, or your expenses are fixed. There's no room in your budget that you've already tried. There's no way you can save. You don't have the motivation, or it's too hard. You don't know where to start or what to do. This video is going to smash all of those obstacles, all of those excuses, all of the things that are holding you back from saving. I have experienced, and I'm going to give you the tips and hacks that will help you overcome these to start saving in the easiest way possible for 2021. So let's get right into it. Switch your discretionary spending to cash only, or cash as much as possible. Statistics show that using a debit card or a credit card or using something other than actual paper money is less motivation to budget and save when you're spending on things. In my own experience, when I use cash, I spend a lot less than when I am just swiping that card. I budget all of my monthly fixed expenses to come out of my bank account electronically, or I pay them via my bank account or debit card electronically. For everything else, I withdraw cash from the bank and I budget it through actual cold, hard cash. Most of the time when I am buying things just for fun, when I'm out or I'm spending money on food, I am always using cash. Obviously, you can't do this for everything, especially now with making a lot of online purchases, but for as many purchases as you can, use cash. It will subconsciously help you to start spending less and saving more. Start small. One of the things that makes saving daunting or hard to people is that it seems overwhelming, especially if you are on a fixed income or a low income and you don't have much wiggle room within your budget. Saving can seem impossible. So my advice is to start small. Start by regularly saving a realistic amount of money that you can do without. This is going to motivate you to save more and more, and as you use more of the tips that I'm giving you in this video, you too will be able to start saving and build up to your savings goals. So even if that's $10 a week that you're saving starting off, then do that. If that's $5 a week, or if that's $5 a month, do whatever you can to start. Start small. The start is not going to be about how much you can save, but it's just going to be simply about starting. You're gonna find that as soon as you start saving, you get excited and you'll want to start saving more. So don't let it be overwhelming and daunting. Start super small and go from there. One thing I often do is compare saving to weight loss. If we compare saving and weight loss, we know that with weight loss, calories in versus calories out is what determines how much weight you lose. So I like to say with saving, money in versus money out is going to determine how much you save. When you look at it at the most basic level, saving is the amount of money you bring in versus the amount of money that goes out. So the easiest way for you to start saving is to determine, am I a saver, a spender, or a combination of both? I personally am a combination of both. So once you identify which one you are, or what area or category you fall into most often, use that to identify the best way for you to save. So for example, if you are a spender, then it's going to be harder for you to save by using the income that you have to save more and more. You're going to have to start finding a way to generate more income, basically bringing more money in, because you tend to spend more money out. I will have more tips on how to bring more income in later in this video, as well as linked below. On the other hand, if you are a saver, which is awesome, that's less of a challenge for you. But if you're more of a saver, then that means you don't have to focus on bringing as much income in or bringing more income in. You can focus on saving. If you're a combination of both, then it may work better if you attack saving with an approach of maybe bringing in a little bit more income and spending a little bit less out. Saving is very personal. There is not one size fits all for saving. In order to save successfully, you are going to have to recognize your strengths and weaknesses in terms of money. You're going to have to recognize your spending patterns. You're going to have to recognize what obstacles you're facing in terms of saving. What is holding you back? Is it income, or is it the amount of money you spend? If you are on a fixed income and there's not much opportunity for you to increase income, then you know that you're going to have to focus on saving more by spending less. So I like to put it in those terms to keep it really simple. Basically identify your relationship with money and use that to determine how you're going to save. Another easy way to start saving is to take any unexpected money you receive, such as, say, a gift or a windfall, such as like a tax return, or you win the lottery, or you get an inheritance, or you get some large amount of money from somewhere. Let's say you get a bonus at work that was unexpected. Any amount of unexpected money, always save at least a portion of it. It's really easy to get excited when you get unexpected money and you want to go buy that thing that you've been wanting for a long time, or you want to go out to eat or go shopping or go on a trip. But keep in mind that this is another way that you are going to be able to save effortlessly. Saving is a trickle-down effect. So if the money that you would normally save can go towards something fun that you want this month, you can take that extra money and save it all. Or you can decide the best way to do it for you. Maybe when you get unexpected money, you save half and spend half. Or if you're really motivated and you're trying to aggressively save, then save all of it. That's an easy way to build your savings over time effortlessly. In that same vein, another hack that you can do is to start a side hustle, and this would be that bringing in more income part of saving. So if you're able to start a side hustle, exclusively save the money from the side hustle and put that into your savings. This is a great tactic if you are someone that is on a fixed income, or you're not able to save a lot because you have already maxed out your budget. Start a side hustle, and I have created a number of videos on how to make money online, side hustles anyone can do, how to work from home, so many different things that you can do now that you don't need qualifications for. I will put those videos below and link some above, but start a side hustle and use that money to exclusively save it. This is really going to accelerate and boost your ability to save, especially if you are looking towards saving for something large. This is going to help you save much faster. So when I started making a more significant amount of money on YouTube, what I started doing was using my YouTube income as my play money and saving money. So I was able to take the money from my 9-to-5 doing mortgages and use that to pay all of my bills and expenses and fix monthly expenses, my necessities, cover all of that comfortably. And then I used my YouTube money as my play money, but mostly as a source of saving. And this was priceless in helping me to save quicker, faster, and more efficiently. Going back to the weight loss example, if you look at saving like weight loss, then many of you know who have tried to lose weight that if you starve yourself, you are more likely to get to a point to where you're gonna binge and just go berserk and eat all the cake and cookies and Oreos. I know I have been there, don't judge me. But another way you can easily start saving is to actually spend. I know, right? Like, I'm doing a video telling you to save, but I'm telling you to spend. Let me explain. Something that Dave Ramsey says is give yourself permission to spend. Use a budget or look at your budget, a tool giving you permission to spend. And if you look at it that way, basically the glass half full versus half empty, you're less likely to go off on a limb spending wildly. Make sure that you are allowing yourself to spend on things that you want and that you like, and you're not completely starving yourself or holding yourself back from getting anything you like. Saving is so personal. So a lot of people like to say, save by cutting out your latte. If you're a person that really loves to get a latte 1 or 2 times a week, maybe you can cut it down to 1. Or maybe you keep getting your latte and find other areas that are less important to you to cut down in. Don't rob yourself of simple joys or simple expenditures that allow you to lead a happy and productive life. Don't rob your joy of spending so that you can save, because in the end, if you continue to do that, it's like starving yourself. You're going to overeat eventually, or you're going to overspend and you're going to lose control. So budget in every month, every week, or however often you set your budget. Budget in money for discretionary spending or fun spending, whether that's on, eating out or shopping, buying makeup, buying technology, whatever it is. Make sure that you allow a little room for yourself to buy things that you enjoy as well. You definitely want to build discipline and start learning how to spend less by cutting down, but you can build discipline while also still enjoying life. No one wants to be miserable, and it's going to be harder for you to save, and you're going to have less inclination to save if you're constantly miserable and you can't live your life. When I was saving, I cut down in just about every area, and I did have to sacrifice. It did take discipline. It wasn't fun at times when I had to not go out to eat with friends or not go on a trip. I had to turn down multiple trips that year, but it was so much more worth it when I was able to move into the place I wanted and get the things that I wanted for my place. While I did save and I was disciplined and I sacrificed and cut back a lot, I still found ways to incorporate the simple joys that I really needed to stay motivated in my life. So I still went and I still got my Starbucks every other morning. I still went out to eat ever so often. It wasn't as often as before, but every now and then I still went out to eat. Every now and then I still got myself a makeup palette I really, really wanted. I did things for myself that allowed me to still have some tiny amount of discretionary spending, but just enough to where I didn't lose focus or get frustrated or end up so miserable that I just completely lose control. Determine what you are saving for. That sounds pretty self-explanatory and overly simplified, but I say that because if you're like me, I'm one of those people where I need a little bit of fire under my butt. I need some motivation. I need a reason to just really go hard with saving and stay focused and stay motivated. I always find one thing or one major purchase or one goal that I am working towards, and that helps me to stay focused on saving and to stay motivated. So for example, when I was saving to move to the place I am now, that was my goal. So I wasn't disappointed by the fact that I had to save. I was excited because I was working towards my goal, working towards achieving, moving into the place I really wanted. Just like, again, I liken it to weight loss. But if you're trying to lose weight, a lot of times experts will say, you know, post a picture on your refrigerator of your goal body. Or a lot of people like to buy a dress that is their goal dress size and hang that up in their closet so they can look at it every day and get motivation. It's the same thing with saving. You have to put the carrot in front of you to help you stay motivated and get excited about saving. It's not something that you naturally get excited about. But I naturally get excited about saving now because I know I'm saving for something I really, really want. And you can even break that down into multiple things, long-term, short-term, however you want to do it. Figure out what it is that is going to really light a fire under you, motivate you, and get you excited to start saving. So along with motivation, you definitely want to have savings goals. You want to have short-term and long-term savings goals, but you want to make sure that you incorporate, again, things that you really want or enjoy, something fun. Let's say you have a goal to save for a down payment for a house. That's a more long-term goal. So maybe it's something that you don't necessarily get the immediate gratification for. So what you can do is have your long-term goal of saving for your down payment, but also have a fun short-term goal for something that you really want that is a larger purchase, but it's not small enough that you would just have the money on hand to pay for. So for example, maybe there is a camera that you really want, or a cell phone, or something that you really, really want, maybe a laptop, a computer, that's sort of a larger purchase, but it's something that you can immediately start saving and it won't take you as long. It's more of a short-term savings goal that will give you a more immediate sense of gratification, and it's gonna give you a boost. Achieving that small short-term goal is not only gonna feel like a reward because you're able to buy something that you really want and that you like, but it's also going to give you that sense of achievement, and it's going to motivate you further to save for that long-term goal, or that big down payment for the house. So don't box yourself into feeling like you have to have all these wild long-term goals. You may want to set long-term and short-term, or set a short-term first, achieve that, and then work towards achieving a long-term goal. You want to take baby steps, reaching smaller goals and enjoying the fun reward that you saved for yourself. It can actually give you a psychological boost that makes the payoff of saving more immediate, and it reinforces the habit. Stay organized. This is something that I don't hear a lot of financial experts talk about, but as someone who is big into organization, I get excited about this. You want to make sure you stay organized, because when you're saving, you want to make sure that you make it as simple as possible for yourself. If you are one of those people who prefers to and really likes to work with cold hard cash, then maybe you're setting up little sinking funds or whatever kind of savings that you're building for yourself, and maybe you have a cash fund or a cash envelope that you save in, and that helps you stay organized and motivates you. Or maybe you like to go paperless with everything. Make sure that you have some kind of electronic option for saving. Tap into your savings style and your financial, psychology, because if you are one of those people who easily forgets to save because you're busy, then set up automatic transfers. If you are one of those people who is not able to get out much, then going to the bank to withdraw money to put into envelopes is not going to be the best option for you. I like to do a combination of both, and that works really well for me because I feel like I have both areas covered, and I really enjoy having a hands-on, quite literally, part in contributing to my savings, as well as an electronic method of saving. So I do both. I do my sinking funds in cash. If you want me to do a video on sinking funds, I can talk about that more. Essentially, sinking funds are little savings categories for expenses you know are going to come up, that are variable expenses like car maintenance, things like that. But I like putting my sinking funds into cash. I don't know why I did it that way, but it just works better for me that way. And then for my long-term, larger savings goals, I like keeping them in a bank account electronically. So figure out what works best for you and stay organized. And here's something really important to note. If saving is extremely hard for you or overwhelming because you have a significant amount of debt, let's say you're on a fixed income or a low income and most of your income is having to go to debts and, necessities, and you don't have a lot of wiggle room in your budget to even start saving small, then you'll want to focus on attacking that debt first before you really focus on saving and focus on large savings goals, because debt can rob you of your income. So I would advise that if saving is really hard for you right now or really overwhelming and you're barely getting by and can't even begin to think about saving, then work on reducing debt first. I have a video on saving and reducing debt that I will put in the description box below. And I'm also going to add to this video a bunch of savings hacks that should hopefully help you be able to cut your spending in some areas, and hopefully you can start paying down debts. Now you can use the snowball method or the avalanche method. This is another video I can do specifically on debt payoff if you guys want, but figure out a way to start paying off your debt, pay off a significant amount of debt before you start really diving into a lot of extensive savings. And that may actually be the key to help you start saving. You may be bridled down with a lot of debt and that's what's held you back from saving. Well, you can attack that first, address that issue, figure out how to reduce that debt or eliminate it, and that's going to free up so much for you to be able to start saving. Okay, let's get into these cost-cutting hacks. For those of you who are true beginners and want easy cost-cutting hacks, then you'll definitely want to stay tuned for this part. All right, first, cut down on your grocery bill. This is a big one. I saw a statistic that said the average family spends $924 a month on groceries, which is nuts. I know as a one-person household, I tend to spend way more than I need to on groceries. It's so easy when you're grocery shopping to go down the aisle, grab some Oreos, cereal, and not pay attention to what you're spending. But in general, as Americans, we tend to spend a lot on groceries, more than we need. So a great way to cut down on that is to plan ahead by planning out your meals strategically. Do this by planning out your meals using what you already have in your fridge and your pantry. So instead of creating all these new meals and having to go buy all these new ingredients, you can use what you already have as a base and use that to save a little bit of money in terms of buying things that you don't necessarily need. Cancel your automatic subscriptions that you are not using. This is clearly a given, but one way I found that these can creep up on you is by those free trials. So one thing that I do is I'll start my free trial and I literally set an alarm on my phone or a reminder notification the day before the trial ends to cancel the trial. This has worked amazing for me. Once I started doing this, I stopped having $15 here, $50 there, $10 here, $10 there, automatically coming out of my account, which can add up on these services that I don't use or I don't want. Another great way to save in this area is to team up with your friends and family for subscriptions that you use. Another thing that can eat up your money is having 20 different subscriptions. If you have that many different subscriptions, then you're not really saving any money. So what I do is I have one subscription service for streaming, and the other subscription services that I need, I leverage by having an account on a friend or family member's account. A lot of people already do this, I know, but if you are looking for easy ways to cut costs and you haven't done this yet, definitely do this. Buy generic. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's easy to, in your mind, feel like the name brand is better, but most of the time generic is just as good and it's much cheaper. I use this to the T when I was saving for my place I'm in now. I bought everything generic, and guess what? Like, I didn't die. So now I can buy name brand if I want to more often, but when you're really trying to cut back and just make easy ways to save, buy generic on things that you tend to buy name brand. Okay, so if you pay an energy bill or electric bill, whatever it is, cut your energy costs. And this is so simple. This is gonna sound really dumb, but one thing that I did that cut my energy bill like a third when I was saving up was simply unplugging things. When you are not using things, unplug them, because believe it or not, when things are plugged in, even if they're not turned on or you're not using them, they still absorb a certain amount of energy and power. Just unplugging things when you're not using them can save you a good chunk of money a month. Also, your water heater. If you have your water heater turned up to the highest temperature of water, many times you're not going to need the hottest temperature of water, whether it's the shower or dishes or anything. Turn it down just a little bit, and that can save you a bunch of money too. I swear to you guys, this works. I thought it was dumb, but I tried it and it worked out amazing. There's also other things you can do in terms of like saving water. There's things you can put on your shower head. There's certain light bulbs you can use that save energy. If you don't have access to those things, an easy way is to just unplug things. Unsubscribe from advertisement emails. I unsubscribed from every email subscription I had for all of the stuff that I love, right? So if you're trying to save money and you have Sephora emailing you and Ulta and Fashion Nova and all these people emailing you about when they have deals or new products, you're more likely to spend on those things. It's really distracting to have a strict savings goal and then you have all of these extra things coming at you. It's better to unsubscribe from those emails, and when you really want something and you have the money for it or you saved for it, you can take the initiative, go to those websites, go to those stores, and you can, buy what you want. But unsubscribing from the emails, while it sounds oversimplified, is a great way to save money. Review all your monthly expenses and find ways to cut down on those. So think of like your car insurance, your cell phone bill, your cable bill, just different things. A great hack and way to do that is to simply call the company and tell them you're interested in canceling your service. They're gonna transfer you to a department that specializes in customer retention. And these departments, 9 times out of 10, are gonna be able to offer you a deal or lower your bill somehow because they wanna retain you as a customer. But when it comes to cable and cell phone and things like that, it's real easy to let those costs creep up on you, especially if you have a contract or you've been with a company for a while. They are able to increase your bill every year, or they're able to increase it in certain areas without you even knowing, and you're just spending more for no reason. So find a way to reduce those costs or to price match move to another company that has a better deal. Just find ways to cut down on these expenses, and it's gonna make a huge difference over time for you. So of course, eating at home more is a big one. When you're cutting down on your groceries, that's one part of it. But of course, you're meal prepping or making your own meals. This is something I lived by when I was saving, and whenever I'm trying to aggressively save for something, especially now with the pandemic, I find it's easier to eat out less. So take advantage of this time and eat out less. You're going out less, you're traveling less. That money that you would have spent for those things, just go ahead and save it. Make it fun. Make it fun by doing a challenge. I've seen like a 52-week challenge where you start by saving $1 one day, then the next day you save $2, or by week. There's different fun challenges. You can go on Pinterest or Google and find some like savings challenges. Do a challenge or make it fun and do a competition with a friend who is also trying to save. See who can reach their savings goal first, or who can save the most money, however you want to do it. If you're competitive, then this is a great motivator, and it makes it more fun to save. You don't think about it as something negative. Do a challenge, a no spend challenge, where you're only buying essentials for a week or for a month. Do something like that, but challenge yourself or make it fun by doing it as a competition. Okay, this is an easy one, but DIY as much as possible. When I was hankering down to save, I did my own hair, did my own nails, did everything myself. YouTube is an amazing place to get a lot of tutorials on how to do things, how to trim your own hair, how to wash your own car. I mean, the list goes on. Pretty much anything that you pay for someone else to do that's not highly specialized, you can learn to do yourself. This can save you a lot of money. The key to all of these savings and sacrifices and cuts, know that you aren't doing this forever, right? In order to save and to reach your goal, you may have to aggressively cut back or sacrifice or DIY some things, but you're not doing it forever. I did that for, I think, about 6 months. I hardly remember feeling miserable because I was doing it. I just knew it was a sacrifice that I had to do. And I did it for that time. Once I saved what I needed to, that was over. And I go to the nail shop and get my nails done. I get my hair done. You know, I pay for the convenience of the services that I like done. But when I need to save, I know how to go back to doing things myself. All right, and this is a tried and true one, but sell, sell, sell. Sell anything that does not bring you joy, like Marie Kondo said. Sell whatever you can, whether it's a garage sale, a blog sale, a Poshmark sale, sell on eBay. One thing I did to kickstart savings was I actually sold the only designer purse that I had. It was like a Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. Those of you who are Day One Honeybees, you probably have seen my unboxing of it. It was my first ever designer purse. I went to a consignment shop where they buy designer items, and I sold it, and I was able to instantly save a big chunk of money, and that motivated me to save even more. Because guess what? It wasn't something that I can't go to Louis Vuitton tomorrow and buy again after being in a better place financially. Remember that these are short-term sacrifices. So if it's something that is vintage or an heirloom or it's priceless or something you'll never be able to buy again, obviously don't sell that. But if you have luxury items or any kind of goods that you can sell that don't bring you joy or aren't fully necessary at the moment, maybe it's something you can buy later, in life after you've reached your savings goal, sell it. Get rid of it, sell it. Get that instant boost for your savings, and that's the easy way to start saving. All right, guys, I hope that you learned some easy ways to save in 2021. This is probably the most basic, simple way to get started. anyone can do it, and it's definitely things that are tried and true that I personally have used. If you learned something in this video, even if it was just one thing, please do me a favor and give me a big thumbs up on this video. It lets me know I'm helping you, because I want to make sure I'm providing value to all of you, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you content that you want and that you need and that you can use. So please thumbs up. In the comment section below, I want you to comment what are some tips or hacks or things that have helped you save. Everyone has their own saving style and different perspective, and I think it's going to be helpful for us to learn many different ways to start saving. I respond to all comments in the first 24 hours of posting a video, so definitely make sure you have your notification on. If you don't already, hit the bell button. That will notify you when I upload a new video, and that way if you have a comment that you really want me to see or a question you really want me to respond to, you'll know as soon as I upload, and you can go to the comment section to make sure you get your comment read and or answered. Also, make sure to subscribe so you can be a part of the fam. I'm gonna be uploading a ton of bomb videos for 2021. I'm so excited. I have so much knowledge to share with you guys. I talk about mortgages, finance, lifestyle, career, entrepreneurship, just things that will add value to your life. So make sure you're subscribed so you can get all of this good info. I love you guys so much. I love you to the bank and back. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.